Welcome. In this learning, we are talking about forward rates and forward market. So forward market, whenever we are in forward market, when we have to take delivery of something in future, we are in forward market. And in forward market, we have to deal with forward rates. For example, there is a trade taking place today, right? And in this trade, what we have said that, okay, the delivery of bonds, we are transacting it today, but delivery and payment is deferred till a future date. So delivery and payment of bonds is deferred till a future date. So in this case, whatever rates we agree upon for the transaction, those are forward rates. So simply stated, forward rate is interest rate on a bond or any money market instrument traded in forward market for a future delivery. Now let us see how forward rates work. Suppose we are working in this time horizon of 5 years. Right? So there is a timeline here drawn for that. Now in this time horizon, suppose we have this information available to us, and this information is about spot rates. Essentially, these are YTMs of zero coupon bonds for these years. Year 1 maturing in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. So we have this information of spot rates. And here, if we see that we have plotted this 5-year spot rate, right, 10%, which is given to us in this table. Now, what is this 5-year spot rate? So 5-year spot rate basically means if investor makes a investment here on time 0 and there is no coupon payment in between, so there is no cash flow in between, so there is no interest in between, and the only cash flow investor gets at the end of 5th year is the only cash flow he or she has, then this investor is making 10% on this investment. This is meaning of term spot rate. Now suppose we are trying to understand the concept of forward rates here, right? Now forward rate, we can start from here, for example. So what is forward rate for the 5th year is something like this, that we are trying to analyze 1 year forward rate 4 years from now. So this is that thing. So 1 year forward rate 4 years into the future from now. How we will calculate? In order to calculate this, we need information about the two facts. We need information about we will need information about the spot rate for 5th year, and we will also need information about spot rate for 4th year, and then we can calculate the forward rate for 1 year 4 years from now. And let us do that. So what we are doing now, we are calculating the forward rate 4y 1y. So which means we are calculating 1 year forward rate 4 years into the future. And in order to do that, we will use this formula 1 plus 10%, which is 5th year spot rate, exponent 5, divided by 1 plus 9%, which is 4th year spot rate, exponent 4 minus 1. So let us do that on calculator. In order to do that, we have to save some numbers into the memory. So let us clear the memory first. Second, 0, second clear work. So let us now start with the calculation. 1 plus 10% is actually 1 plus 0.10, so which is 1 plus 0.10 here, and it comes out to be 1.10. and exponent 5, so we will click y exponent x and then we will click 5 and equal to. So this number 1.611 we will store it in first memory slot. So nothing happens on screen, but the number has been saved in first memory slot. Let us clear it. So we have found the value of numerator. Now we are finding out the value of denominator, which is essentially 1.09 exponent 4 is equal to, so we got this number. We will store this number in second memory slot, and now what we have to do, the numerator value we stored in first memory slot, so we will recall it. Recall 1 divided by recall 2 is equal to, so we got this number, and remember in the formula there is -1, so -1 is equal to, so we got this number, but we want to make it into percentage, so let us times it by 100. So we got this number 14.093. So 1 year forward rate 4 years into the future is 14.093%. Similarly, we can calculate this one now, which would mean 1 year forward rate 3 years into the future. So 3y, 1y. So how we will do that? We will need for that the third year spot rate as well. Third year spot rate, we can take this one from our table here, is 7.5%. Now let us use this formula to calculate the forward rate, and forward rate 3y 1y would be 1 plus fourth year spot rate, which is 9%, and then we will divide it by third year spot rate, which is 7.5%. Here in the numerator exponent is 4 and denominator exponent is 3 minus 1. So this is what we have to solve to get the implied forward rate of 1 year 3 years into the future. So that would be percentage sign here, 7.5%. Okay, let's do that. 1 plus 9% is 1.09. Y exponent x 4 is equal to store first memory slot. We stored it into first memory slot, so it has overwritten the previous one. And then we will do the denominator 1.075 y exponent x 3 is equal to, we will store it in second memory slot, and then we will clear it. Recall 1 divided by recall 2. This number we got -1, and then we will times it by 100 to make it percentage. So it is 13.627%. Similarly, now we can calculate here this number from 2 to 3, which would be called actually 1 year spot rate 2 years from now, but for that we will need the information about spot rate for second year, and spot rate for year 2 is 6%. We take this number from this table given in the spot rate table here, and let us use these, and by this formula we will get this number, implied forward rate, which is 2y 1y, and this number comes out to be 1 plus 7.5% exponent 3, 1 plus 6% exponent 2 is denominator minus 1. So let us do these numbers. 1.75% is this number, y exponent x 3 is equal to this number we get on the calculator. We will store it in first memory slot. It would overwrite the previous number in first memory slot, and then we will do the denominator, which is essentially 1.06 y exponent x 2 is equal to, and we will store it in second memory slot. And then of course we have to do the numerator divided by denominator, so recall 1 divided by recall 2, which gives us 1.106 minus 1 and times 100. So this gives us 10.564%. So this 10.564% is 1 year spot rate 2 years from now. So that is our 2y 1y. But we need a couple of more numbers here. Let us go back to this timeline, and here we are now calculating one more forward rate from spot rate, and this one we are calculating, and this would be called actually 1y 1y. So 1 year forward rate 1 year into the future, 1 year from now, right? So in order to do that, we will go here and we will use this formula. Sometime we write FR, sometime we write it IFR. It just stands for implied forward rate. So this formula is now like this. But before we can put the numbers in the formula, we would need the information about spot rate of first year, which is 5% from the table here, and we will enter this information here. So 1 plus 6% exponent 2, 1 plus 5% exponent 1 minus 1. Let us do these numbers on calculator. 1.06 y exponent x 2 is equal to, store in first memory slot, clear it. Let us do the denominator, which is just 1.05. Exponent 1 is same thing, so we will put it in second memory slot. So we will recall first memory slot, divided it by second memory slot, minus 1, and then to make it percentage, let us times it by 100. So this is a 7.01%. And now we are left with only one number here, which we can call 0y1y. So it just is the same thing as this YTM of a zero coupon bond which matures in 1 year. So it is same number. So this number, even if we do the calculation, we get 5%, right? Otherwise we can clearly write here that implied forward rate 0y1y is nothing else but spot rate of year 1, and it is 5%. Even if we do the calculation by the way we showed here in the formula, it still comes out to be 5%. So this is now the relationship between spot rates as well as forward rates. And let us make a clear chart now. So first year spot rate was 5%, and our 1 year forward rate 0 years from now is same thing as a spot rate of year 1, which is 5%, and this 1y1y, which is 1 year forward rate 1 year from now, came out to be 7.01%. It goes here, and then 2y1y is 10.564%, and 3y1y is 13.627%, and here we got 4y1y, which was 14.093%. So this is now the comparative information that YTMs of various maturities zero coupon bonds were available. So these spot rates were available and we used them to calculate the forward rates, corresponding forward rates. Now these set of information, right? So this A set of information or this B set of information, so both these set of information can be used for bond pricing, right? So we can use either of these. Either we can compute the bond prices using these forward rates in set B, or we can use these spot rates to compute the bond prices, and whether they would be same or not, we will see that in next learning. Thanks for joining.